Another birthday, another year older. Were you expecting an intro joke? I wonder what's for dinner. Please don't make me do that again. We've talked about the BioTubers themselves. We've talked about the characters they bring to life. Now, I think it's time we talk about the videos that bring us so much joy. It only seems natural. After all, these videos are the bread and butter of the BioTube community as they showcase the characters and stories that have defined this niche corner of YouTube for over a decade. Whether they tell a story, make us laugh, or showcase the newest character on the block, they always set out to entertain. Like any other countdown I've made, this list is my own personal opinion. Objectivity was murdered by subjectivity, who pleaded guilty a long time ago. Let that be a hint of how the list will play out from here on out. I could list all the objectively best videos this community has crafted, but that's not nearly as fun. There could be a variety of factors of why I love a video. Animation, stories, characters, but in the end, I'm just looking for a good time, which is honestly the main reasoning for most of my choices today. List your favorites down below if you wish, and I love hearing what you guys have to say. Now, before we begin, I do have a few restrictions. First, none of my videos will be included, obviously, and that includes collabs like Legacy of Vengeance, or videos where I am actively part of the discussion, like my various appearances on Chatting with Chums. However, I will allow videos where I provide some voice acting, as I had little influence on those videos other than my own vocal cords. Second, the videos must be from BioTube channels, or if they were a BioTube channel at some point, so if Bionicle related content is only a small portion of the library, I sadly won't include it. I don't like pulling the No True Scotsman card, but I just don't feel comfortable calling these people BioTubers. Sorry, Nick on Planet Ripple. Also, since I'll be really discussing what happens in these videos, and some of them are story-driven, I'ma just give a spoiler warning here. I'll link all the videos I'll talk about below so you can check them out for yourself without me giving everything away. With all that out of the way, let the show begin! Vámonos! One thing I've always loved about Ragnarok, dude, is all the strangeness that occurs. You can never expect the expected whenever you watch his videos, except maybe the unexpected, if that makes sense. So now, riddle me this, my friends. What happens when you put him and two other like-minded BioTubes together? Insanity. In a fun way. I think Detox himself describes this video the best.
Okay, that's slightly humorous and unexpected.
Although I personally don't think he's giving this video enough credit. It's not the pinnacle of comedy, but I can't help but smile when looking at these antics. The main plot, if you can call it a plot, it's more of a series of events, revolves around Edict Art showing off his new, explosive power. And from there, well, everything happens. Explosions, little people, top hats, sexy women, the works. It's honestly a little hard to come up with a lot to talk about this video. It's just a good time all around. Something you can sit down and watch after a long day of work and get a nice dose of randomness. Not exactly deep, nor does it have the best animation, but it succeeds in making you laugh while bringing together three great BioTubers. Remember when you guys got excited when Mania Mac and I collabed to work on Legacy of Vengeance? I could see a similar fan reaction when this came out nearly 7 years ago. 7 years ago? Anyone else feel old? I can just feel the gray hair sprouting from my head.
You're 22!
Someone has not heard of exaggeration for the sake of comedy. It's clear that BioRock Dude, Edict Art, and I, Bionicle, were just having a lot of fun here, coming up with strange scenario after strange scenario. And when they're having a good time, we're having a good time. Can't go wrong with that, can you? I wonder if I can get explosion powers too. Boom. Team Shade is blasting off again! Oh, my pancreas! Ugh. Anyways, I think there's only one proper way to describe our next video. Holy shoot! I remember 5 years ago when I first saw this video, completely amazed by this colossal being. Even nowadays, I can't help but find myself impressed by what I see. 7 mocks that not only transform into vehicles, but into a devastator-like creature. That's not easy to pull off. I mean, yeah, this wasn't the first time the Roxy Rider showed up, nor when they first combined, but this second version is just so much better in so many ways. The animation is smoother, the mocks are nicer looking, and that build-up! With the epic piece of Strength of 1,000 Men backing this video, this entire thing just has a great sense of pacing. The fact that certain actions seem to be timed to the song helps things out pretty well too. Each Roxy Rider being revealed, them transforming into robot mode, their leader giving the command, them slowly transforming into Ragnarok itself, and then when the transformation is complete, you are met with an amazing mock and a pair of soul pants. Yeah, I should have warned you ahead of time. This entire video just oozes awe, and even if Dr. Scorpion X has made other combiners since then, none of them will reach this level of amazement we were given. Two Steps from Hell's music just really has that impact. It's certainly the best darn mock video I've ever seen, and honestly, I don't think that position will be taken anytime soon. Still, talking about X again just makes me really excited for this next Bioformer video. I think it's pretty obvious by now that I love me a good countdown. Yeah, they become an overdone form of video on YouTube, but when done well, they can be some of my favorite videos on the platform. So naturally, if I can find myself a good countdown about Bionicle, you know I'm going to at least look into it. And, well, we might as well get the obligatory Mania Mac entry out of the way. Let's face it, you all knew one of his videos was going to show up somewhere on this list. Probably didn't expect this one though. Fight for Endworld? Hearts of Vengeance? Nope, have a double top 5 with a cherry on top. Now, can I say this is a great video? No, not really. The visuals are extremely basic, with pictures only changing every so often. The length of the segments are very unproportionate, with some lasting about 20 seconds while others lasting 3 minutes, and one entry not even making that much sense. Seriously, how does any Toa team being able to take down a Hero Factory team easily make it a point against Hero Factory as a brand? Honestly, while thinking nostalgia of this video and the fact that Maniamac is one of my closest friends does help this video get on my radar, I think I appreciate how he tried saying something positive about Hero Factory. Think about it. Back in 2013, Hero Factory was still alive and considered worse than the plague, and yet Maniamac tried going in with a more balanced mindset, and I respect that. The wider range of colors, the more durable pieces, and the potential for mock making are all great points Maniamac mentioned that do give Hero Factory more credit than what's usually given. And when he did eventually go over the negatives, he did so without coming off as a spoiled brat. And honestly, his speech in his last segment really got to me when I first watched it. It made me think about Hero Factory and other entertainment brands aimed at younger children as a whole. I may not agree with everything that was said in that segment, but I can at least understand where he was coming from. That speech is certainly one of my favorite moments of his. This double top 5 might not be Maniamac's greatest nor most well-known video, but it's strangely the one I return to the most. Give it a watch if you haven't. Although, given how it has over 100,000 views, you likely already have. There's another revisit, though. One thing I regret while working on my top 5 BioTube characters video was not watching any of ThatchMax's videos before making the ordering. I had heard his name thrown around a few times at that point, but after watching so many BioTube videos for research, including many I considered bad or mediocre, I was getting tired at this point. Although now after watching ThatchMax's content, I can safely say he is amazing! Seriously, he deserves the love he's been getting. Never before have I seen this much dedication to content on BioTube. The action scenes, the effects, the cinematography, the sets, the characters. Other BioTubers have done these elements very well, but ThatchMax weaves them together beautifully like a hand-knit blanket. Almost makes me kinda jealous, not gonna lie. Guess my timing as a new subscriber is perfect, because not long after I became a fan, he released his season finale. The previous episodes of Fables of the Multiverse were building up to something big, and in the end, we got a movie. Seriously, have you seen the length of this monster? Now, how long the video ends up does not necessarily add to the quality of the video, but I think here it just shows how dedicated Thatch Mac was to giving us a finale we wanted and then some. There are just too many great moments here to count. Like the Richter battle that also had a robot from Real Steel. Anybody remember that movie? Oh, and the final conflict between the Fire and Ice tribes, and the Cataclysm fight. Both with Camilio using a bunch of weapons from popular media, and with Steve and Richter teaming up, and knocked back to the future, and the new secret villain reveal at the end, and Professor Eon being copied and replaced with a fake, and...
We've interrupted this program to allow Shade to release all of his fanboyism. Please stand by.
Okay. I think I'm good. Honestly though, I think the fact that this video is made up of great moment after great moment speaks volumes to its overall quality. Heck, out of all the videos on this list, this is probably the most well done on multiple levels, from effects to characters to storytelling. As I hinted at before, to me at least, this is like the end of a TV season, bringing together all the current plot points and character arcs while also planting seeds of what's to come in the future, giving us answers while providing more questions, and I will be anxiously awaiting to get those answers. I may have missed Thatch Mac when he started becoming popular, but I'm certainly glad I didn't miss this. Keep up the good work. Now, as we turn our eyes from such a well-done, wonderfully pieced video, arguably one of the best ones to come out of BioTube this year, and look at this entry, some of you might be wondering why I decided to rank it higher. Well, it's pretty simple. I just laughed more watching this. Oh boy, I don't think that's gonna be enough to explain myself. Can't just go with my onion here. Listen, from an objective perspective, Fables of the Multiverse 7 is better. Better animation, mocks, and effects. Yet for some reason, I keep returning to this video time and time again. Also, I already stated that objectivity was killed a while ago, so there's that. Again, I just find this video funnier to watch, and if you want me to like your video, making me laugh is a good way to go. The audio is from a pretty good abridged series, non-piece, so entertaining humor is a given. Just seeing these characters going from strange situation to strange situation for nearly 5 minutes just makes me chuckle. It's simply ridiculous in this rarely a dull moment. I'm so happy Legend Weaver decided to continue these, even if it has been a year since the last one. And a titular Lockjaw. Friggin' Lockjaw. The voice of non-piece Luffy just fits so well with the design of this crazy shark pirate, and the fact that he has a flapping, movable mouth just adds so much character to him. Finally, since this video is so short, I think it helps with rewatchability. When your guy with a decent amount of things on his plate, I appreciate when someone can release a short but extremely entertaining video that I can sit down and watch over and over again whenever I feel like it, and not spend too much time. I still like lengthy videos. I mean, have you seen my last collab? But something like this is easier to fit in my schedule than a movie. Sometimes you just need a snack rather than a full-course meal. In general, there's just a sense of fun and energy that radiates through this video from head to toe. It ain't gonna win any awards, but I can always rely on it for a good time.
Denmark.
Good thing I made those investments. Anyway, now that that quote has been made, 3 guesses on what number 5 is. Go on. Okay, I will admit, this entry is the closest to breaking my own rules given the amount of Halo content on his channel. But since Silently Orange's Bionicle related work is his most well known and arguably best aspect of his channel, I'm willing to let it slide just so I have the excuse to sing his praises. If you've been on BioTube at all in these last few years, chances are you've at least heard of the reviving Bionicle series. If not, you've probably heard at least one person say Hail Denmark. Love it, hate it, or indifferent towards it, or just got tired of people saying Hail Denmark, it's hard to deny that it caught people's attention and left an impact, myself included. Okay, but memes and impact aside, there's just a lot I love about this series of videos. First, I'll get to the stuff that can apply to every episode of the Reviving Bionicle 3 Pentology. Cinematography is probably what sticks out the most, as it almost feels like a theatrical movie. Although that might also be from the black bars on the top and bottom, I must admit. But the way the camera is framed and moves around gives a certain aura. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but there's almost a certain amount of weight to it. and in some ways, certain shots are even extremely beautiful, especially the scene in the forest. Now admittedly, the text-to-speech voices can be considered dumb and kinda distracting, but I don't know. At least in the case of this series, I find it a bit charming. Call me crazy if you want. I already know I am. Now, specifically, what made me choose the final chapter of the saga over the previous 4? Honestly, I think it's the sense of finality that really gets me. Our heroes are at their lowest. The villains, in this case the heroes, confusing I know, are ready to enact their ultimate plan. Within the first few minutes, we already see what the secret weapon Denmark can do, wiping out all the Bionicle sets in the house by removing their trans pieces, which is only the extent of what the villains plan to do. They don't just want to disable them. They want to destroy them for good. You feel the weight of the situation, and honestly, I think this is a feeling any finale should give. The entire video in general is a mix of emotions. Excitement and hope as Tahu and the others plan and execute their attack. Exhilaration as the two sides duke it out. Satisfaction as our protagonists succeed. Sorrow of Voriki's death. And curiousness at the questions brought up near the end. On the topic of Voriki, I think Part 5 did a great job finishing both his and Takanuva's respective arcs, with the latter getting over his bitterness and the former getting over his guilt from the last episode before becoming the hero he always wanted to be. Probably some of the best development I've personally seen in any BioTube video. For everything this video, and by extension the series, did right, I can't help but look at it with awe and respect. Not my favorite BioTube video, we are at number 5 after all, but still something I'm happy to look back on. Hello? Wait, what?
Denmark. 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 Denmark.
Stop the number transition. I've got some spammers to deal with. I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, one of the things I was interested in when holding my Bionicle Randoms collab a few months ago was discovering new talent. BioTubers I had never seen before that could create great content. The one who surprised me the most was Borax321's entry, whose expressive animation and comedic timing made his my favorite out of all the entries I was given. That entry isn't what we were talking about though. Oh no. Prior to that, he had made something even greater. Remember when Bionicle G2 came out and a lot of videos of the 2015 and 2016 sets fighting one another were made? Yeah, I remember coming across a lot of them in the sidebar, including this one, and getting tired of noticing so many, decided to pass watching it. When I finally took the time to watch it, holy crap. Imagine, if you will, that all the G2 battle videos are tests in a class, and this is the one that not only answers all the questions correctly, but also all the extra credit questions. It has all the stuff I expect from a great video. Smooth animation, thrilling action, humorous moments, yada yada. But it just does that a little bit more for me. It's the only video on this list that's 100% completely animated frame by frame, so there isn't a single moment where a picture is on for more than a second or two. There's always some sort of movement, and given that the video is almost half an hour long, you have to admire Borax's dedication here. Not to mention, for a video that's all about toys kicking the crap out of each other, it genuinely surprised me at points. From the humorists like Bomber Lava Beast and bringing out a freaking tank, to the that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you wouldn't expect from a regular Bionicle video, and that includes the ending where Kimu effectively becomes the villain and Makuta the hero. It's certainly odd, but I do enjoy this different change in direction. And dare I say, it's a much better ending than G2's real ending. Where are the air horns? Where are the ear-piercing air horns? My eardrums! I may have been late to the party when seeing this for the first time, but once I got to said party, I can't say that I was looking back. Now let's just hope my ears stop ringing by the time the next entry shows up. Okay, I think my hearing is clearing up now. Oh, we're back! Perfect timing. While I do love and respect the older years of BioTube for helping create this community, I can't say I look back at a lot of the videos during this time with a lot of fondness. True, there were outliers when it came to general quality, but most of the videos I loved when I first started out are not as easy to look back on years later. Maybe it's my evolving tastes, or maybe it's just how BioTube itself has evolved over the years. Compared to a lot of BioTube videos nowadays, at least from the more popular creators, a lot of the videos back then feel more static, often with limited stop motion, not always the best dialogue, and more text than the hatred I have for modern politics. Yeah, so I don't often find myself enjoying my revisits to this period of BioTube history. I do understand that the technology wasn't as good back then, but it's a bit hard to look back now with how spoiled we are with how BioTube videos are nowadays. These have definitely improved throughout the years, especially with a few BioTubers from around that time who are still around, like BioRock and Kyler, even if their upload schedule have massive gaps. With that being said, sometimes nostalgia can be a funny thing. By no logical means should this video be ranked higher than the previous ones I mentioned. But something like the Tomorrow War Part 3 and this Christmas special side by side, I will question your sanity if you don't notice a massive difference in quality. In fact, this video has a lot of the common old BioTube faults I brought up earlier. Minimal animation, often middling writing, and a lot of text. And yet somehow, this is one of the BioTube videos I rewatch more often than anything else. Told you nostalgia is a funny thing. And really, that's the main reason why even after all these years and taking note of the many chinks in this video's armor, I still admire and get some enjoyment out of it. There's just this nice, warm atmosphere to this video with both heroes and villains in Toskarak's universe coming together for the holidays. Even with the crazier moments, I mean one of the characters does explode after all, it just feels cozy. And the overarching joke of the mistletoe honestly adds a nice touch along with a few humorous scenarios. It's just a video where you want to sit back and enjoy hanging with Toskarak's characters, almost like spending time with the family during the holidays. The video battles between so many mocks, yet you're happy to see them all. Thinking about this video a bit more personally though, I think it means a lot more to me than I may have initially realized. I have brought up a few times in the past that Toskarak 44 was the first BioTube I really got into, and was my main inspiration for transitioning into the BioTube community. Really, it was a lot of the videos on his channel that inspired me, but I think Under the Mistletoe showed me what was really possible. All these characters, nearly 100 of them, built by one person in one place. Out of all Skarak's videos, this was the one I rewatched, and in a sappy way, grew close to the most. I can't say it's a masterpiece in any way, but what I can say is, thanks for being with me for all these years, and for being one of the biggest parts of my early years of YouTube. What more can I say than that? Honestly, I think the hardest part of this segment isn't explaining why I love it so much, but editing the clips of a video that's less than a minute long into this countdown while making sure the visuals don't get too tedious. Ah well, it's worth trying. Before you ask, the fact that this video and the previous one are both Christmas specials is purely coincidental. I didn't realize this until scripting. You can save your comments for something else. Like how nice my hat is. You know you want it. Anyways, unlike the previous Christmas video though, I have no hesitation explaining how much I adore it. The animation here is probably some of Calitra's best. Just the way his characters move and bob is for the most part so smooth. Not just smooth, but funny. Just watch Uko drag his face across the ground while singing and tell me that's not at least a little humorous. The funnies come in spades here, from the previously mentioned animation to other visual gags and Cal's signature facial expressions. And, I didn't expect Lucarion's jaw to go down that far. The entire video is like a cartoon in stop motion form. In fact, the audio itself is from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And unless you have the eyesight of a pebble, because I don't have eyes, that certainly looks like a cartoon. Actually, after watching both Cal's video and the clip it was based on, I actually prefer the former. Maybe it's because I watched it first, but I find this one a lot more entertaining. The expressions, the animations, all the little touches. And I think it says something to this video's quality when I can enjoy it more than the original. Yeah, the video is really short, but I think it actually helps a lot. I can pop in there or off whenever I please, whether it be at home or waiting for my order at a fast food place and still come out satisfied. Since the holiday season is upon us, if you haven't already, why not add watching this video to your list of Christmas traditions? Or whatever you celebrate. I guarantee it'll make your holiday celebrations just that little bit better. Now before we get to number 1, I'd like to go over a few honorable mentions. Yeah, if you know me, you knew an HBot video would show up somewhere. Or Jaller Loco Boat, as that's apparently what the channel is called now. Even rewatching his videos to help with research for this countdown, I still found myself having a great time. Even as a jaded 22-year-old who has lost all faith in humanity. The charm and humor just stick with me, even to this day. Now, my favorite Jaller video tends to change throughout the years, and heck, I wouldn't be surprised if it changes again 20 seconds after I post this video. They're all great, but the countdown gods say can't put the entire channel on this list, so this spot goes to... Jaller drinks coffee. Alright then. Honestly, it was kind of difficult choosing which of Jaller's pantheon of great videos to be number one, but in the end, I suppose the ultimate deciding factor was which one entertained me the most, which one was a great time all the way through, which one put a smile on my face the most. And after going through my favorites, Jaller Drinks Coffee ended up winning. I found it rather strange at first, as I never considered it as my favorite Jaller video in the past, but after rewatching it, it's the most consistently funny to me. I'm not kidding, this video is basically joke after joke, and at least in my eyes, almost all of them land. And from such a simple concept too, that being Jaller getting higher on caffeine. Yeah, this isn't exactly an original setup, but it's the execution that counts. I'd like to think that this would be the logical extreme of someone chucking down a mug of pure caffeinated energy, aka, it turns you into an irrational psychopathic lunatic. Symptoms might also include flying like Superman, harming your friends, and exclaiming very loudly that that thing over there is a painting. Now, if we were in the way of a drunk on coffee Jaller, we would likely be terrified. But since we're on the other side of the screen, we can just enjoy his crazed antics. It's not just Jaller, practically all the main casts have their own time to shine, offering their own brand of humor to match or even oppose Jaller's own chaotic feel. My favorite has to be Axon's relative straight man attitude.
Axon, what's this big container of drawbridge cantaloupe doing here?
Drawbridge cantaloupe? What are you talking about? That says Starbucks coffee.
That's what I said.
You said drawbridge cantaloupe.
To me at least, this video, and by extension Jaller's entire channel, represents what I truly look for in a BioTube video. A great time. No matter how many times I see Jaller's dumb plastic face, I still find myself smiling at least a little bit. And that's why to me, this video is my personal #1 favorite BioTube video. Again, unless I change my mind on what Jaller video I like the most. It's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but I'll happily drown every last drop. I'm Shay2800, and I hope to see you all soon. Still got this year's Christmas video to work on. Godspeed, everyone.